I have with me David Pakman. He is a progressive host and executive producer of the nationally syndicated radio and TV program, The David Pakman Show. And I wanted to talk to David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. The beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. The beta male.
Can you remind the audience, when you talk about being a beta male and being an alpha male, what are we talking about here?
There are males, most men today.
Yeah.
Male. They think and act like a woman. They are emotional. They are mentally off. They have no logic. And that's a beta male. They go along with homosexuality.
Whoa, Jesse, we got it. That's a lot.
LGBTQ.
That's a lot.
They
Hold on.
agree with everything that's wrong. Abortion, they think and act just like a woman. A beta male does. But a non-beta male doesn't, because he's a logical thinking. And they're controlled by the darkness of David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. The beta male.
All right, let's, wow. That is a jam, but let's get right to it. The schedule today has been just completely thrown into the trash. Donald Trump is supposed to be speaking in 15 minutes in Reading, Pennsylvania. I don't know how it's pronounced. That was rescheduled to a half hour from now, but he will never make it because he's still speaking right now in Newton, Pennsylvania. We're going to have clips of this. At the same time, Joe Biden and Barack Obama scheduled to be speaking momentarily, so we're monitoring that. Also, Kamala Harris scheduled to be speaking in about 40 minutes in Fort Lauderdale. I can't find a stream of it. I can't find any event on YouTube that seems to have that as a scheduled event. My goal was to kind of see what everybody's doing. We are in the last 3 days of the campaign. So I guess if anybody knows where the Kamala stream is, let me know how to find it. Let me know which channel is carrying it. I very much want to see what Barack Obama has to say in Flint, Michigan momentarily. And then I'm not even going to go to this Trump thing. I mean, let's just listen to a few seconds. He was supposed to be done here an hour ago. You know, it's just a mess of a schedule.
Ilhan Omar will be running Homeland Security. How do you like that? Yeah. Who knows? I just said that one, but you know what? I wouldn't.
So this is very, very stupid. And again, my thought was that we would cover the second Trump speech, which again, the second one is supposed to be 15 minutes from now, rescheduled for 30, and he will never, ever, 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 ever make it. So let's stay here just for now. Let me know when Biden, Obama go live, and I will switch over. And in fact, actually, can I even leave the let's see.
Days away from a day we will never
Oh my God, we can't even hear this.
This is no doubt the most important election.
We can't hear a word of it, so it doesn't even matter right now. Okay, let me know when that happens. And then if someone also knows if there's a Kamala stream for a little bit while from now, let me know about that. I mean, I'm trying to keep, the schedules are in the trash. We don't know who's doing what. Trump's an hour late. Let's actually look at Trump's schedule. So this is in Newton, Pennsylvania. And that was supposed to be ending at 1. It's now 2. Trump's still talking. And then Trump was supposed to arrive at the next location 40 minutes ago by plane. And then 10 minutes after that, get to Reading, Pennsylvania, where he was supposed to arrive in 5 minutes and speak in 15. You know, it's just who the hell knows what is going on. But the schedule is absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Oh, by the way, I do have a clip. So people were sending this to me and saying it sounds like Trump is almost doing a concession speech. This is earlier in this same event. Let's listen to it. Here we go.
To do that's sleepy Joe Biden. It could have been the greatest. You know, if you look, we look at the amount of money that he has raised, hundreds of millions, $300 million 1 month. But I could have been the greatest of all time. I could have been the greatest political fundraiser. tell him to do. That's Sleepy.
Okay, yeah, sounding very depressed and down. Not quite a concession speech, but he does sound relatively defeated there. I also do plan. I see people in the Twitch chat saying I should also be looking at polls. I will be doing that, and I hope to have time today to do my map, my 270 to win map, at least based on the numbers today. And of course, the numbers may change. The numbers may well change. Also, I don't know if you guys heard, but there was vehicular intimidation and even sideswiping. A bunch of Trump flag laden vehicles surrounding the Biden bus, I guess in Texas. And there was actually some, wait, where did I have that? Here it is. There was actually some sideswiping that took place. I mean, it's violence. It's violence is what it is. It's completely stunning that this is going on. This is criminality. These are hit and runs. Hit and run. It's really hits and run. What's the plural of that? It's like attorneys general. But in any case, we're going to be literally terrorists. Exactly right. We are going to be talking about that. Big thanks to Chris Goodings, by the way, who signed up on my website, joinpacman.com. I do want to say thanks to Chris, who's new member number 1 today. Few super chats going on. Dr. Chakaseki, radiologist at large, said honking horn guy at the Biden rally yesterday probably represents the sounds going on inside Blotus's head. The clown car of the Republican Party drives onwards. Yes, very much so. Also via super chat, Deepak, what's the number for the based department? I have no idea. And then via Twitch, Andre Bavaria says, hey, David, how will you be covering Election Day? Best wishes from Bavaria. I'm just going to go live about 7 p.m. Eastern. And, it's funny. I get a whole bunch of people who are wanting to know what my plan is for Election Day so they can watch. And then I've got a whole bunch of people saying, David, don't even bother streaming on Election Day because Hassan will be live and he's going to take all your Twitch audience. And Kyle Kulinski's going to be with Joe Rogan, and he's going to take all of your YouTube audience. You're not going to have anybody watching. Oh, okay. I guess I'll just sit at home and stare at the wall. No, I'll be live. I will be live, and I think we will have. I think it'll be a fine stream, and we'll see how well it does. It doesn't have to be the best stream, but I think we will have interest. And what I can tell you for sure is, last election we had 1,500 live viewers on election night. I will bet any amount of money we have more than 1,500 live viewers. And people asking about a subscriber target. So as many of you know, I had a goal of 1 million subscribers by Election Day. We got there a month and a half ago. So my goal by Election Day is 1.1 million YouTube subscribers. We're at 1.07. So I think it's going to be tight. I mean, 30,000 subscribers in 3 days. It's hard to expect. Hard to expect that. But that's the goal. And, oh, wait, no, that's not 30,000. I'm sorry. That's 3,000, right? No, it is 30. Okay, I'm having some math problems. That is 30. Okay, so maybe that's not going to be possible. But the goal, I guess my goal is to get 30,000 new YouTube subscribers between now and Tuesday. Okay, people are sending me links to the Kamala stream, but links are not allowed in the chat. So let's see. Kamala, there it is. There it is. Okay, so we've got the Kamala stream. Oh, Barack Obama. Let's listen.
You got the Michigan State game. And that's a big deal.
Low audio. Do we have better audio, anybody? Let me find a better stream.
But this Tuesday, everything is on the line. Our jobs are on the line. Our health care is on the line. Whether or not we get this pandemic under control.
Here we go.
On the line. Whether or not we get this pandemic under control is on the line. But here's the good news. On Tuesday, you can choose change.
Yes.
On Tuesday, you can elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. You can choose a better America. And what's even better news is you don't have to wait until Tuesday to cast your ballot, Michigan. You can vote in person right now. Just go to iwillvote.com. Find your polling place. Get out there and vote. And if somebody like you already voted, go help your friends and family make a plan to vote.
Right.
Because we need everybody, not just some people. We got to get everybody out there. I love you too. Okay, that's it. Put that mask back on. Listen, Michigan, Joe Biden is my brother. I love this. I love Joe Biden, and he will be a great president. Now, I'll admit, 12 years ago, when I asked him to be the nominee for vice president with me when I was running,
my God,
I didn't
the
know
audio.
Joe that well. We had served together in the Senate.
I'll look for another stream.
He and I came from different places, part of different generations. But I quickly came to admire Joe as a man who learned early on to treat everybody he meets with dignity and with respect. Living by the words his mom taught him. No one's better than you, Joe.
Let me just see here if I've got better audio.
You're no better than anybody else.
I do. Okay, I'm just going to switch streams for you guys. I always want to bring you the best audio, and some of the audio is a little bit toxic. But I think we've got better audio right here. This will be a better stream, I think. Always the best for you.
The belief that everybody counts,
there we
that's
go.
who Joe is. And that's who he'll be as president. I can tell you, the presidency doesn't change who you are. It shows who you are. It reveals who you are. And for 8 years, Joe was the last one in the room whenever I faced a big decision. And he made me a better president.
Right.
He's got the character and the experience to make us a better country. And he and Kamala are going to be in the fight, not for themselves, but for every single one of us. And we sure can't say that about the president we've got right now.
We could, but we'd be lying.
You know, I've said this before. I never thought Donald Trump would embrace my vision. I understood he didn't agree with my policies, but I did hope, for the country's sake, that he might show some interest in the job. He might take the job seriously. He never has. He hasn't shown any interest in doing the work or helping anybody but himself and his friends, or treating the presidency as anything more than a reality show to give him the attention that he craves. But unfortunately, the rest of us have to live with the consequences. Almost 230,000 Americans are dead. More than 100,000 small businesses have closed. Almost 300,000 jobs are gone in Michigan alone. America just had its single worst week of new COVID cases. And what's his closing argument? Here we are, the worst week, this week. I mean, we've been going through this now for months. The federal government has had an opportunity to respond for months. And his closing argument this week is that the press and people are too focused on COVID. COVID, he's complaining. He's jealous of COVID's media coverage. And now he's accusing doctors of profiting off this pandemic. Think about that. He said this just yesterday. Said doctors are overblowing it because they're going to make money off it. Doctors.
Would be funny if it weren't a tragedy.
Fathom. He does not understand the notion that somebody would risk their life to save others without trying to make a buck. His chief of staff says, we're not going to control the pandemic. That's a quote. Said it last week.
True. Mark Meadows.
We're not going to control the pandemic. We noticed, Mr. Chief of Staff. We understand you're not going to control the pandemic. But you know who will? Joe Biden will. When we elect him president of the United States. You remember when Republicans were saying, let Detroit go bankrupt? You remember that? Now they might as well be saying, let America get COVID, because that's how they're asking. If Trump were focused on COVID from the beginning, cases wouldn't be reaching new record highs across the country.
And Trump would be skating to re-election.
Some of the places he holds rallies have even seen new spikes after he leaves town. There was just a study by Stanford University that just came out showing thousands of people are likely to have gotten sick because of these rallies he's holding. What is his obsession, by the way, with crowd size? You notice that?
Well, he's trying to make up for the small size of his
he's always worried.
hands.
This is the one measure he has of success. He's still worrying about his inauguration crowd being smaller than mine. It really bugs him. He's still talking about that. Does he have nothing better to worry about? Did no one come to his birthday party when he was a kid? Was
Probably
he
not,
traumatized?
actually. I mean, that's true.
What's with crowds? Well, you know, I've had crowds before, you know. Had quite a few. But you know, when a country's going through a pandemic, that's not what you're supposed to be worrying about. And that's the difference between Joe Biden and Trump right there. Trump cares about feeding his ego. Joe cares about keeping you and your family safe.
And alive.
And he's less interested in feeding his ego with having big crowds than he is making sure he's not going around making more and more people sick. That's what you should expect from a president.
Don't hold your breath with
You
this
can
guy,
expect
though.
something different
Trump, that
from a
is.
reality TV star, but from a president, you want them to put you above their own ego. Look, here's the truth, Michigan. This pandemic would have been challenging for any president. But this idea that somehow this White House has done anything but completely screw this up is nonsense.
Wow, Banhammer's
Canada
being dropped
identified
already.
Its first case.
A lot
the
of toxic
same
people around
week
these last couple days in the
that
chat.
the U.S. did.
Bye-bye.
Right? Just a few miles up, right? It's not close. I may not be pointing north there. But Canada's pretty close by. Our mortality rate in the United States is 2.5 times higher than Canada.
Yeah, but we're
Think
getting
about
great
that.
marks.
If we had the same percentage of folks dying in Canada as we do here, nearly 90,000 Americans would have died instead of 230,000 Americans.
He said
If we
that
had handled
backwards.
this pandemic like Canada did,
Right, okay.
140,000 of our fellow Americans might still be alive today. Think about that. Think about that. And yet, despite that, last week, when Trump was asked if he'd do anything different, he said, not much.
He said nothing.
Really? Not much. Can't think of anything. Listen, I understand the president was anxious to downplay it because he wanted to get credit for the economy that he inherited and zero blame for the pandemic he ignored. But it doesn't work that way. The job doesn't work that way. Tweeting at the TV doesn't fix things. Making stuff up doesn't make people's lives better. You've got to have a plan. You've got to put in the work. And along with the experience to get things done, Joe Biden has concrete plans and policies that will turn our vision of a better, fairer, stronger country into reality.
Imagine policy.
Joe's not going to screw up testing. Joe's not going to call scientists idiots. He's not going to host super spreader events around the country. What Joe will do is get this pandemic under control with a plan to make testing free and widely available, to get a vaccine to every American cost-free, and make sure our frontline heroes never have to ask other countries for the equipment that they need. That's what Joe Biden will do. Joe's plan will guarantee paid sick leave for workers and parents affected by the pandemic. He'll make sure that small businesses in every community, not just some, not just big corporations, but small businesses that hold our communities together and employ millions of Americans, can reopen safely. Donald Trump likes to claim he built this economy. America created 1.5 million more jobs in the last 3 years of the Obama-Biden administration than in his first 3 years. And that was before he could blame the pandemic. Joe Biden and I, with the help of a Democratic Congress, rescued the auto industry. Gary Peters was there. He told us to bet on Michigan, and we did. And manufacturing in Michigan grew by 15% over our last 4 years.
A lot of trolls getting banned today, guys. It's one of those days.
The manufacturing hub of the world again. It's up 1% under his first 4 years. 15% under Obama Biden, 1% under him. That's Michigan, right here. We handed him the longest streak of job growth in American history. But the economic damage he inflicted by botching the pandemic response means he'll be the only president since Herbert Hoover to actually lose jobs. Herbert Hoover. That's a long time ago. Joe Biden and Gary Peters know that the key to a strong economy isn't cutting more taxes for billionaires. It's lifting up the prospects for working Americans. And Joe's got a plan to create 1 million new auto-related jobs by accelerating electric vehicle production.
By the way, just to give you guys a sense of what's going on, Donald Trump just wrapped up his speech that was supposed to end an hour and 20 minutes ago. Trump was still speaking at his first event when he was already supposed to be speaking at his second event. This event in Reading, Pennsylvania, or Reading, Pennsylvania, I don't know how it's pronounced. In Massachusetts, Reading is pronounced Reading with regard to the town, not reading is reading if you're reading a book, you understand. Trump's 3 minutes late to his second event. He's just now leaving his, it's just, what is going on in that administration? It's just at the micro and the macro, no coordinate, just rambling endlessly. Let's get back to Obama for now. And then, by the way, we've got Kamala in 25 minutes coming up.
Or the shift worker always on the edge of getting laid off. Or the cancer survivor who's worried that her pre-existing conditions, protections will be taken away. Let's talk about health care for a second.
Please.
Let's talk about health care for a second.
Policy.
Republicans love to say right before an election that they'll protect your pre-existing conditions. That's what they say.
This is live, yes.
Well, you know what? Joe and I actually protected them 10 years ago with the Affordable Care Act. And since we did so, with no help from Republicans, no votes from Republicans, Republicans have tried to repeal or undermine the ACA more than 60 times. For 60 times, they've tried to take people's health care away. And when asked, why are you doing that? Why are you being so mean? You don't think these people should have health care? They say, no. We've got a new plan. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be terrific. Except it's been 10 years now, and they still don't have a plan. They're trying to bamboozle you. Instead of actually coming up with a plan, they've attacked the ACA at every turn. They've driven up costs. They've driven up the number of uninsured. Now they're trying to get the Supreme Court to take your health care away in the middle of a pandemic. Right at the time when people need health care. They've signed on to a case right now in the Supreme Court where they're trying to take insurance away from folks who need it with nothing but empty promises to take its place. And now Mitch McConnell is pouring millions of outside super PAC dollars into Michigan to try to beat Gary Peters because that's part of their agenda. Michigan, here is the truth. Joe and Kamala and Gary will protect your health care. They will expand Medicare. They will make insurance more affordable for everybody. And the reason you know that's true is because they were there when we did it the first time.
When doing nothing is better for people than
And
what
here's
Trump
another
wants
thing.
to
With Joe
do,
and Kamala
you
to
know
help.
what Trump wants to do
This
is
a
really
big
bad.
benefit. Michelle and I were talking about this over dinner the other day. You're not going to have to think about them every day.
Imagine talking to your wife during dinner.
You're not going to have to argue,
sir,
with your family about them every day. It won't be so exhausting. You'll be able to get on with your lives knowing that the president is not going to suggest we inject bleach as a possible cure of COVID.
Oh, man.
You won't have to find out. You won't wake up in the morning and kind of open your phone. Oh, newsflash. The president retweeted conspiracy theories that the Navy SEALs didn't actually kill bin Laden.
Right.
You're not going to have a president who goes out of his way to insult people just because they don't support him. This is not normal behavior, people. We would not tolerate it from a teacher or a coach or a coworker or a family member if a neighbor.
It's actually more extreme than that. A lot of normal people, if they behave like Trump, it's a 72-hour psych hold, and then maybe you get out if you sign off that you'll stay on the meds.
You know what? There are consequences to this action. There are consequences to his actions. It's not just a joke. It's not funny. Those actions embolden other people to be mean and divisive and racist. And it frays at the fabric of all of our lives, and it affects how our children see the world and how they treat each other. It affects the way our families get along. It affects the way the world sees America. That's why Joe talks about the soul of America. That's why he talks about decency and kindness and responsibility and hard work. That, more than anything, is what separates Joe Biden from his opponent. He actually cares about every American. He does not have a mean-spirited bone in his body. I have seen him spend time with people, strangers that he doesn't know. When he hears about they're going through a hardship, he talks about what he's gone through. When he sees a kid, his eyes light up because he thinks about his own kids and grandkids. Joe Biden tries to live the values we cherish: honesty, hard work, kindness, humility, responsibility, helping somebody else out. That used to be the definition of manliness, not strutting and showing off, acting important, bullying people. Used to be being a man meant taking care of your other people. Not going around bragging, but just doing the work. Not looking for credit. Trying to live right. Passing on those values to your kids. Looking out for a community. Carrying your weight. Giving up a little bit of what you might have to help somebody who has a real need. When you elect Joe, that's what you'll see reflected from the White House. And those shouldn't be Republican or Democratic values. They didn't used to be. They're what we grew up learning from our parents and from our grandparents. And they're the values we still try to teach our kids. And they're not white or black or Hispanic or Asian or Native American values. They're American values. And we've got to reclaim them right now. But to reclaim them, we're going to have to turn out like never before. If we're going to reclaim those values, we need to leave no doubt. We can't afford to be complacent. Not this time. Not in this election. We got a little complacent the last election.
Right.
And listen,
And
I
stupid.
understand why Americans get frustrated and sometimes think government's not going to make a difference, voting's not going to make a difference. I understand that. Government's not perfect. The people in government are not perfect, even when it's working. Government's not going to solve every problem. But we can make things better. A president can't by himself solve every challenge facing the economy here in Flint or Michigan, but if we elect people like Gary Peters and Dan Kildee and we get a House and a Senate joined with a White House that are more focused on working people and getting you the help that you need, they will make a difference. And some folks will get jobs that wouldn't otherwise have jobs. And some folks will have health care that wouldn't otherwise have health care. A president by himself can't eliminate all racial bias in our criminal justice system.
Right, you need Jared Kushner to help with that.
But if we elect district attorneys and state's attorneys and sheriffs focused on equality and justice, and we once again have a Justice Department and a Civil Rights Division in the Justice Department that cares about these issues, we can make things better. And that's what voting's about. Not making things perfect, but making things better.
Right.
It puts us on a track so that generations from now we can look back and say, you know what? Right about then, things started getting better again. The fact that you don't get 100% of what you want right away, that's not a good reason to vote. You just got to keep at it. You know, typically just over 50% of us vote who are eligible.
Embarrassing. Embarrassing.
Almost half of the people in most elections who are eligible to vote don't vote. Imagine if 60% of us voted. Imagine if 70% of us voted. Imagine January 20th. When we swear in a president and vice president who's got a plan to get us out of this mess, who care about folks like you, who've been in your shoes, who know what it's like to struggle, who know what it's like to have to work hard, who are thinking about working Americans and have a plan to help you start getting ahead. Imagine what it's going to be like to have a president and a vice president who believe in science and who have a plan to protect this planet for our children, and who believe in racial equality and are sending a clear signal that we're all in this together and are doing the work to bring us closer so that we have an America where no matter what we look like, where we come from, who we love, or how much money we've got, we can make it. And we have a place, and we're treated with dignity and respect. Michigan, that's what's possible. And I'm asking you to remember that it's possible. I want you to remember what this country can be. But you can't just imagine a better future. You can't just wish for it.
Got to do something.
You got to fight for it. You got to fight for it. We got to out-hustle the other side. We got to vote up and down the ticket like never before, right here in Michigan and all across the country. We've got to leave no doubt about who we are and what this country stands for. And if we do, we will send Gary Peters back to the Senate. And we will elect a man who loves this country and who cares about you and who will fight for every single one of us and will look out not just for folks who support him, but even the folks who don't. My friend, the next president of the United States of America, Joe Biden.
Wow.
Joe Biden.
Little Stevie Wonder just to kick things up. Remember, Donald Trump on his way. Look at Biden go. Donald Trump on his way to some lunatic event. We also have Kamala Harris speaking right now. We will go to Kamala after Joe. Extremely bad audio and video problems happening for Kamala Harris, but we're going to hear from Joe Biden. And for people asking about phones, I will open phones. We have a more modest goal of 100 today. That's website members and Twitch subs, and I will open phones if we get to it. Let's hear from Joe. Well, the music's still going.
Mr. President.
Okay, so Joe Biden now taking over from the music.
Kind of reminds you of how good it can be listening to him, doesn't it? As my mother would say about Barack, God love him, he's a good man. Folks, it's good to be back with friends. Mayor Neely, Governor Whitmer, Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist, Debbie Stabenow, my good buddy, Gary Peters, who you are going to send back to the United States Senate.
Come on, man.
Because I'm going to need him. We can always count on him to be your senator for you and your family. And my good friend, Congressman Dan Kildee, who we need to send back to the House. Dan's a good man. a good man. And of course, I wish we could figure out how to send back a guy who, we used to have an expression up in Scranton. We'd say when someone wasn't somebody else's equal, we'd say wasn't a patch on his jeans. I tell you what, Mr. President, you're still driving him crazy because he knows he wasn't a patch on your jeans. I tell you what.
Triggered.
Barack Obama. It's great to be with the president again. It reminds me what we can be when you have a president of character, a president respected around the world, a president our kids looked up to and did look up to. I want to say something we don't say often enough, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Barack Obama was a great president of the United States of America. And I want to make sure we say it here today. Mr. President, thank you, thank you, thank you. Went through 8 years without one single trace of scandal. Not one single trace of scandal.
I don't know. That bougie mustard he liked and the tan suit and I don't know.
Flint.
And a little too much drone
3
usage.
days. 3 days. We can put an end to this presidency we have now that has divided the nation. 3 days. We can put an end to a presidency that has failed to protect this nation. 3 days. We can put an end to this presidency that has fanned the flames of hate all across this nation and made us a laughingstock around the world. Millions of Americans have already voted. Millions more are voting today, tomorrow, and God willing, all the way through to the close of the polls on Tuesday. And my message to you is simple. The power to change the country is not figuratively, it's literally in your hands. I don't care how hard Donald Trump tries. There's nothing, let me say it again, there's nothing that he can do to stop the people of this nation from voting in overwhelming numbers and taking back this democracy. And when Americans vote, no matter how many threats he makes, America will be heard. When America's heard, I believe the message is going to be loud and it's going to be clear. It's time for Donald Trump to pack his bags and go home.
Well, his butler will pack them for him, but
we're done with the chaos, the tweets, the anger, the hate, the failure, the refusal to take any responsibility. We've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of work to do. And if I'm elected your president, we're going to do it. We're going to act. And we're going to need your help in doing it as well. We're going to act to get COVID under control. On day one of my presidency, I'll put in action a plan I've been talking about for months, already laid out. A national mandate, mask wearing, social distancing, testing, tracing, all things, as President Obama just said, that should have and could have been put in place months and months ago. A plan for a full and fair and free, I might add, distribution of therapeutics and vaccines when we get one. Imagine where we'd be if we had a president who wore a mask instead of mocking it. I can tell you this, we wouldn't have 9 million confirmed cases of COVID in this nation, over 230,000 deaths. We wouldn't be seeing a new record of cases. We're seeing right now 90,000 cases. Yesterday, 90,000 new cases. We wouldn't be by the way, 500,000 in just the past week. This guy tells us it's going away. Only thing that's gonna make it go away if he goes away. Folks, we wouldn't be facing another 200,000 deaths in the next few months. This president knew in January the virus was deadly, and trying to improve his image, he went up and tried to talk to Bob Woodward. He thought he could change his mind. But what he did, he let it be known. All the way back in January, he knew how dangerous this pandemic was. And he hid it from the American people. He knew it was worse than the flu, but he lied to the American people. He knew it wasn't going to disappear, but he kept telling us, a miracle is coming. And yesterday, he had the gall to suggest that American doctors, people are putting their lives on the line, on the front lines, to save other lives, along with nurses and so many others. He suggested falsely that they're inflating the number of COVID deaths to make more money. What in the hell is wrong with this man? Excuse my language, but think about it.
By Easter,
It's
this will be
perverted.
solved, guys, under Trump. Easter 2023,
You may believe
of
it
course.
because he doesn't do anything other than for money. The people of this nation have suffered and sacrificed for 9 months. None more so than the doctors on the front lines and healthcare workers. And this president is questioning their character, their integrity, their commitment to their fellow Americans. It's more than offensive. It's a disgrace, especially coming from a president who has waved the white flag of surrender to this virus. Our frontline health workers.
He doesn't even really have a
they've given
flag.
their
That's the
all
crazy
to
thing.
beat the virus. We have a president who's just given up. I will never raise the white flag of surrender. We're going to beat this virus, and we're going to get it under control. And the first step to doing that is beating Donald Trump. Look, Donald Trump keeps telling us what a great job he's done as president. Oh, man. Well, did you know President Obama and I, as he pointed out, created more jobs in the last 3 years of our administration than he did in the first 3 years before the pandemic? How about this? Or did you know Donald Trump's going to be the first president in 90 years who's going to finish his term with fewer jobs under his leadership than when he started? Look, that's a lot of presidents. That's a lot of crises. But only Donald Trump is going to have fewer jobs at the end of his presidency than when he started. You see, I and Barack understand something Donald Trump doesn't. Wall Street didn't build this country. You did. Working people built this country. And unions built the middle class. He's done nothing but wage war on American labor. I see the UAW sign out there. First outfit ever endorsed me when I was a 29-year-old kid. God love you. Look, we have a different view. We believe we should be rewarding work, not wealth, in this country. Under my plan, if you make less than $400,000 a year, you're not going to pay a penny in additional taxes. But the wealthiest people, the biggest corporations, 91 of the Fortune 500 companies paid zero in federal income tax last year.
But
They're
it was
gonna
a
start to pay
strong
their
zero,
fair share.
a respectful zero.
The super wealthy are going to pay the same rate they paid at the beginning of George Bush's administration. And corporations are going to start to pay their fair share. Why should a firefighter, an educator, a nurse pay at a higher tax rate than someone making literally $1 billion? Or should you? Why should you pay more in taxes than Donald Trump? He paid $750 in taxes the 1 year we know of. He's yet to release. I've released 22 years of my tax returns. You can go online and look. He hasn't released one. He talks about corruption. What is he hiding? He owes 41 million bucks out there. Who's he owed
410 million. 410
to? If you
million.
notice,
Really 1.1
he's the only
billion.
president
actually.
I know of that has a secret bank account in China, paid 50 times more taxes in Beijing than he's paid in the United States.
Right.
And this guy talks about corruption. Look, we're also going to act to protect health care. Trump and the Republicans just jammed through a Supreme Court nominee for one overwhelming reason.
Let's just take a quick listen to what Kamala Harris is saying. I do want to hear a little bit from her as well.
How difficult it may be for some to hear. We must acknowledge racial disparities. We must acknowledge what the virus has highlighted. For example, in our healthcare system, when African Americans and Latinos are 3 times as likely to contract the virus and twice as likely to die from it. When Black women are 3 to 4 times likely to die in childbirth as compared to other women. When our Native American brothers and sisters have the highest rates of diabetes of any population in our country. We must speak truth about these things and address them, with the motivation being that we have to have a society that is built on a respect for the concept of equality and reaching equality through initiatives that are about achieving equity. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump, who on the debate stage in the first debate, we all remember, refused to condemn white supremacists, and then went on to double down and talk about stand back and stand by. And I think it's really important to put this in context and to understand a pattern we have witnessed. A pattern that started before he was running for president, where he questioned the legitimacy of the first Black president of the United States, where on the issue of Charlottesville, where there were peaceful protesters protesting racial injustice in America. A young woman
All right, so
died.
we'll get back to that and hopefully with better audio video sync, but for the time being, let's stick with Joe Biden.
Dollars out of Medicare. These guys mean what they say. I'm going to protect Social Security, Medicare and Medicaid, because it's a lifeline for so many hardworking folks. But folks, I have to admit to you, it's kind of personal with me. There's nothing worse that this president has done, in my view, than the way he speaks about our women and men in uniform and those who have given their lives.
Right.
He called them losers and suckers. My son Bo was a major in the United States Army, gave up the Attorney General's job, and petitioned to be able to go with his unit to Iraq for 1 solid year. After, as a U.S. attorney, being in Kosovo, I might add, I'm going to be a typical dad. He's the only foreigner in Kosovo that has a 12-foot memorial dedicated to him. The major highway they built, the Bo Biden Highway, because of his commitment. My son came home with a Bronze Star, the Conspicuous Service Medal, like so many others, before he passed away. But guess what? He wasn't a sucker, he wasn't a loser, nor any of you who served. You're patriots. And just like all of your sons and daughters, your parents and grandparents who served, the president likes to portray himself, I love this, likes to portray himself as a tough guy. When you were in high school, wouldn't you have liked to take the shot? Anyway, it's a different story, but a macho man.
Oh, Biden's going to get crushed for that, but that is funny.
Time you read about, saw, heard about a president of the United States
Oh, man.
literally being laughed at by world leaders when he spoke at the United Nations? Laughed at, out loud. When's the last time you saw a president of the United States being openly mocked by the leaders of NATO at a NATO conference? And can you believe we have a president who acts like Vladimir Putin's puppy? Putin put bounties on the heads of American soldiers serving in Iraq, and Trump was too scared to challenge him. Talked to him 6 times, has never mentioned it.
No, Trump says he's very
Trump's not
strong
strong,
with the
he's
other
weak.
dictators.
He commands little respect on the international stage. This is the president who not only doesn't understand sacrifice, he doesn't understand courage, physical courage it takes to serve in uniform in a war zone. Maybe that's why 6 generals and admirals who worked for him left his administration and said he was unfit to be commander-in-chief. When's the last time any president has had that happen? Tough guy. That's why Joint Special Operations Commander General Stanley McChrystal, that's why head of the Navy SEALs who oversaw the raid on bin Laden, Admiral Bill McRaven, and 22 other 4-stars have endorsed me, saying they support me to be their next commander-in-chief. Because like Obama and Bush and before him, they know we respect them, we'll support them. I've been in and out of war zones as senator and vice president over 35 times. I tell you what, these folks we have, only 1% of the country is in the military. We owe them. They're the backbone. They're the sinew. They're the heart of who we are.
The sinew. I like that.
That's why we have to support our military. And
not a word
rid of
Trump knows, I can assure you.
Folks, you know, I want to tell you something. Think about this. This is a guy who says there's no such thing as climate change. He calls it a hoax. I see it as jobs, health, and safety. The impacts on climate are too often fall disproportionately on poor communities and communities of color. We're going to make sure communities benefit from the hundreds of billions of federal investment in infrastructure and climate change we're going to do as a consequence of the change in the structure. We're going to create local jobs to rebuild roads, fill sidewalk cracks, install broadband, create spaces to live, work, and play safely, to modernize infrastructure so you can turn on the faucet and clean water comes out. And when that happened in Flint, will never happen again anywhere in America.
But will you have to flush 15 times like Trump?
We can and must do this. Donald Trump has rolled back more than 100 environmental protection laws, many enacted under Barack and me. It also holds I'll hold polluters accountable with the most ambitious environmental justice agenda ever. Folks, we're going to act to deliver on racial justice in America. Protesting is not burning or looting. Violence cannot be tolerated, and it won't. But these protesters are a cry for justice. The names of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Jacob Blake will not soon be forgotten. They're going to inspire a new wave of justice in America. America has had their eyes opened up. They're ready. Look, I believe this country has to come together. I know when I announced well over a year ago, when I said I wanted to unite the country, everybody said that's naive. That was a long time ago. You did it before, Biden, but you can't do it again. Well, we can and we must. We have no choice. That's how democracies work. I'm running as a proud Democrat, but I will govern as an American president. I'll work as hard for those who don't support me as those who do. That's the job of a president. It's a duty to care, a duty to care for everyone. So please vote. You still have an absentee ballot? Get it to a drop box as soon as you can.
Drop box.
You can also safely vote early until Monday afternoon, or you can vote Election Day. Just make a plan. Help get out the vote. As he's heard this 10 times already. Visit iwillvote.com/MI. Folks, we have such an incredible opportunity. Well, God love you. Thank you very much. But here's the deal, guys. We got to vote up and down the ticket here. I honest to God believe, I give you my word as a Biden, I honest to God believe we're in the cusp, we're in an inflection point. We have a chance to make such enormous progress because the American people have seen what the other looks like. They've gotten a glimpse of the abyss. I really mean it.
It's dark.
They're ready. They're ready to change so much. I'll never forget what President Kennedy said when he promised to send us to the moon. He used a phrase that has guided me. He said, we're doing it because, quote, we refuse to postpone. Well, I refuse to postpone the incredible opportunities to the United States of America for the American people. There's nothing beyond our capacity. There is no limit to America's future. The only thing that can tear America apart is America itself. And that's exactly what Donald Trump has been doing from the beginning of this campaign. Dividing America, pitting Americans against one another based on race, gender, ethnicity, national origin. It's wrong. It's un-American. That's not who we are. Folks, everybody knows who Donald Trump is. Let's keep showing them who we are. We choose hope over fear. We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. And yes, we choose truth over lies.
Wow.
My fellow Americans, it's time for us to stand back and stand up and take back our democracy. We can do this. We're so much better than we've been. We can be what we are at our best, the United States of America. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So there is Joe Biden wrapping up a speech in Flint, Michigan, introduced by former President Barack Obama, and then now Joe Biden putting on a hat and maybe soon a mask. On to the next event. It is wall-to-wall rallies all day today. Donald Trump already an hour and a half behind after Trump's an hour in and somehow he's 90 minutes behind. Joe Biden, there he is. Okay. Doing something with Barack Obama there. And Barack Obama very strongly wearing a mask, as you can see, which says vote. What a day, ladies and gentlemen. 72. Wait, hold on. 24, 48, 72. Yeah, 72 plus 4, 76 hours until it will be announced that Joe Biden has won North Carolina. Now, maybe that's a little bit optimistic. Biden forgot his mask, now looking for it. Maybe it's in his pocket. We don't know. Patting himself down, and soon I'm sure someone will get him. Where did I put that thing? There it is. There is the mask. And Joe Biden putting it on. And that is it. That is a wrap there. So we are now standing by. Donald Trump was scheduled 45 minutes ago. Actually, let's see if I can do Trump reading PA rally. That's the next one. Let me see if I can find an event. So this is some kind of event here. That's 2 weeks ago. Let me see if I can find Reading Pennsylvania. We've got that stream going already. Where is that stream? Trump. Let's see if I just do Trump rally today. It's scheduled for any moment now, but we're going to go to it. Man, these events, it's just these. Why isn't it clearer? You have to scroll. Sometimes it's like halfway down, 38 minutes ago. Okay, so we want reading. I'm guessing it'll crop up eventually. Okay, so this is waiting for Trump someplace, and then this is waiting for Trump. No, this one's over, so that's done. We've got Kamala, but the audio's totally out of sync. Okay, all right. Listen, I'm doing the best I can to keep up with all these different things. Trump, search Trump live, people are telling me. Okay, let me see here. Trump, right side broadcasting channel is totally toxic. 39 minutes ago. 1 day ago, 4 days ago. We want scheduled for like very soon. News now from Fox. Let's see what they've got going right now. This is still Biden walking around. No, that's delayed. That was Biden looking for his mask. Right side broadcasting. This is a different event. My God. 1 day ago. All right. Well, sometimes, so let's see. Trump, Fox News, Reading. 4 days ago, 1 day ago, 2 hours ago. All right. Listen, we've got 2 streams. I think these will be okay for the time being. We're standing by for Donald Trump here. Okay, good. So welcome back, everybody. If you've been watching and observing, we are down to just the very, very end of this entire thing. Let me get caught up. So many people have signed up and I want to get caught up on numbers. So we had 11 people sign up via Twitch, and they count towards our goal of 100 to open phones. Okay, so that gets us to 12. Then we've got on my website, which is the best way to sign up, joinpacman.com. Nick Stevens is number 13. Bridget Heron is number 14. Leanne Goodman is number 15. Maripaz Calderon is number 16. Christy Massey is number 17. And Christopher Lazard is number 18. And I do invite you, wall-to-wall coverage. We've had debates. We've had rallies. We've had Biden, Trump, Obama. We've had everything. And we will have live election coverage for you on Tuesday. Support the work we do. Really, it does actually mean a lot. Joinpacman.com. The coupon code above my head is done on Tuesday. It is over. 2020 now saves you 66%. And it is over on Tuesday. Another postponement of this rally now, I guess, until 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're standing by for all of it. What a day. Okay, let's now get to some of the different things that I wanted to talk about. Let me just go. Do you guys mind if I go right to my map? Because otherwise, I'll just never have time. It's just, let's start with a blank map. We keep running out of time for this, and I actually do want to get to do. I have not done this, so allow me the time I need to actually think through what my map would look like. Then we will get caught up on new members, and we'll open the phone lines if we've achieved our target. Okay. Alaska's going red, and Hawaii is going blue. I feel very, very strong about that. Washington, Oregon, or Oregon, as Trump says, and California are definitely going blue. Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, D.C., all going blue. Vermont, of course, going blue. New York going blue. Virginia going blue. West Virginia will be red. Indiana red. Illinois blue. Tennessee will be red. Kentucky red. South Carolina red. Alabama red. Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri. Minnesota will be blue. The Dakotas will be red. Nebraska will be red, although I actually think there's a chance Nebraska's 2nd district goes blue. We will see. Kansas, Oklahoma will be red. Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, red. Utah, very red. Colorado will be blue. New Mexico, blue. Okay, so here's where we're starting. Oh, I'm sorry. And Maine is going, I believe Maine is going to go fully blue. There's some thought about one district in Maine going red. I think Maine's going blue. I just think it's blue. Okay. Now let's actually look at some of the polling on these, okay? So let's pull up. So I'm thinking Nevada is going to be very powerfully blue. Right now the numbers are Biden +4, but that includes Biden +2 from Trafalgar. I believe that Nevada is ultimately going to go blue. Arizona, I'm feeling pretty confident on blue as well. Oh, no, but Trump's now up in Arizona. Wow. So actually, Arizona may not. Let's do Arizona red just for our math. Now, I see people saying Minnesota is a question. I don't know about that, guys. If you actually look at the polling, Biden's up. And even Trafalgar says it's Biden +3, and that's part of the. I think Minnesota's going blue. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Okay. Wisconsin and Michigan have been topics of much discussion. And when we look at the Wisconsin numbers, there's a lot of claims that, last time Hillary was winning Wisconsin and Trump won. The difference is in the 10 days before the 2016 election, Trump was trending up in Wisconsin. Trump is now trending down in Wisconsin. So it's very different. Similarly, if you look at Michigan, Trump versus Biden, again, Trump won Michigan last time. And by the way, the average of 6.5 depends on this red Republican poll that says Trump +2. There is a spike here for Trump in Michigan. So I am much more sure about Wisconsin going blue than I am Michigan. So let's come back to Michigan in a little bit. Okay. Then we've got Iowa. Iowa, Trump versus Biden. Iowa is very close right now. Man, this website is slow right now. Oh my goodness. Did it just freeze up? It didn't. So Biden has a slight lead in Iowa, but it's very, very close. It's very, very close. We do have the Georgia situation. Now, 538 has actually now in it. Where does Real Clear Politics have it? Georgia has Biden ahead, and 538 has Biden ahead in Georgia. I think if we're reasonable, we have to say Georgia goes red. Right? I mean, I think we can't have a path for Biden that depends on Georgia going blue. I just don't think so. Although it's possible that Georgia will go blue. I will get back to that. Then we have North Carolina, Trump versus Biden. Biden is now up slightly in North Carolina. Again, that's with Rasmussen saying Trump is ahead. That's with Trafalgar saying Trump is ahead. Let's just give Trump North Carolina. Okay. And then I'm going to get back to it. Let's give Trump Iowa. Let's give Trump Ohio. I think New Hampshire is very, very much at this point in, oh my God, what is happening here? Hold on. New Hampshire, Trump, Biden. Biden's way ahead in New Hampshire. I don't think it's even going to be a question. So we're going New Hampshire blue. So understand that in this scenario, why am I stopping here? Okay. In this scenario, if Joe Biden were to get Florida, it's over. Okay. So with these states left as question marks, Trump could get Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Texas. If Biden just gets Florida, Biden wins. Okay. Let's move them back to undecided. And there we go. If out of these four states, the impossible happens and Biden gets Texas, it's over. Okay. And then if he gets Michigan and Pennsylvania, it is also over, even if Trump gets Texas and Florida. So what is the path for Donald Trump here? Well, the path for Donald Trump here is he gets Texas and Florida and North Carolina and Pennsylvania. So here is one scenario that could come down to Pennsylvania. If he doesn't get Pennsylvania, but he is able to get Michigan, he also wins. So there really are a bunch of different scenarios where this could come down to Pennsylvania and Michigan. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, what if Biden gets Texas? Or what if Biden gets Georgia? What if Biden gets North Carolina? Then it's over. You understand? Then Trump can get all of this stuff. You could even give Trump, listen, if Biden gets Texas and North Carolina, give Trump Florida, give Trump Pennsylvania, give Trump Michigan, give Trump Wisconsin, give Trump Minnesota. If Biden gets Texas and North Carolina, it is donezo. So there are a lot of scenarios here for Joe Biden. There still are scenarios for Donald Trump. Obviously, if Donald Trump gets all of this stuff, he wins. But I don't think Trump gets Minnesota. I just really don't. Arizona is also a question, by the way. Arizona is also a question. Biden can get himself Arizona, in which case Trump absolutely needs to get Pennsylvania and something else. He either needs to, actually, no, even with Michigan and Wisconsin, Georgia. Okay. So then if you put Georgia back. And the reality is there's a reason that this is very fraught, because we're acting like each state is its own election in the sense that there aren't going to be trends. Obviously, if Biden gets Georgia, it seems extremely unlikely that Trump gets Wisconsin and Michigan. So like this is not a likely scenario, because if Georgia goes blue, Wisconsin's going blue and Michigan's going blue. And then Arizona may go blue, and then Pennsylvania. I mean, it starts to get completely crazy. I don't think we should plan on any of these scenarios. I think we should plan on the narrowest possible path, and understanding that it really could come down to Pennsylvania and Michigan, quite frankly. And we're going to be watching those states extremely closely. I mean, just so powerfully. We're going to be watching all of those. Okay, let's see if we have any new Trump Reading streams ready to go. Doesn't seem as though we do. But we still have working streams that we are waiting on, even if one of them is this wacky right side broadcast. Oh my God, they're playing clips of Obama at a Trump rally. Can you imagine? Okay, let me get caught up, and then I'm going to read some. Mark says you're going to have to open the phones pack. Why? Let's see. Okay, so Twitch, we've got 1139. That's +1. That gets us to 19. And then over on the website, there are things happening on the website. Okay, Caitlin Forbes is new member number 20. Hillary Silas is new member number 21. Sam Carl is new member number 22. Emily O'Neill, number 23. Jeremy Patrick, 24. Doreen Kahn, 25. And Bert Haver is new member number 26. Yeah, yesterday we decided to include Twitch subs in our goal yesterday, but the goal was 125 and we fell short for phones. Today we have a goal that is much more modest. It is at 100. And website subscriptions count, joinpacman.com, and Twitch subscriptions count as well. And 1140, that gets us to 27. All right, good. Let me now apologize profusely and get to some of the super chats that are coming in. Do I have any new Spanish clips? No, I do have. I don't know how many of you follow me on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you really should. You can see me voting. You can see me harvesting my tomatoes and lots of stuff. But I did post a clip from my Spanish language show yesterday. This is the great actor Jaime Camil, known from such shows as Jane the Virgin and many, many other shows. He did an Argentinian accent for us on the upcoming episode that's going to air this Sunday. Check this out. This was great fun for the Spanish speakers.
El público, Jaime, quiere saber, ¿podrías hacer un acento argentino en algún rol en un programa? Imagínate que sos un periodista argentino en un programa de televisión.
Ya lo hice.
Lo hiciste, claro.
Sí, lo hice en Por ella soy Eva. Bueno, Los tacones de Eva, la versión colombiana,
Sí.
en la mexicana se llamó Por ella soy Eva. Y cuando este tipo trata de enamorar a, no me acuerdo el nombre de Lucero, el nombre del personaje de Lucero, pero cuando trata de enamorarla, se inventa que es un argentino, recanchero, ¿viste? Recanchero. Le dice, Lucero, pero vení, confía en el amor que tengo por vos. Y me salía mucho mejor antes. Pero todo el mundo me dice que mi argentino es porteño.
Bueno,
Okay, so very, very exciting stuff. And he's a big progressive activist, really, really good guy. And by the way, fan of the David Pakman Show. He explained to me that he's a fan of the David Pakman Show. He watches the clips. He's a fan of TYT and so on and so forth. So a very, very exciting day, as you can imagine. Huge win in the battle of the churning of ideas, as many of you can imagine. Just an extremely it was the play of the game. There was no doubt about it. It was the play of the game. Hook, line, sinker, full stop, period, end of story. I think we have to apply all metaphors and similes to that. Okay, we are standing by for Donald Trump, scheduled for an hour ago, ran 90 minutes late at his previous rally. Who the hell knows if we will ever see Trump? I mean, it's completely unclear if we will ever see him. Let's start getting to some super chats, okay? Malik says, heard the comments of Michael Moore that the danger is the Trump supporters rather not take part in the polls. So if there are states that are close, there's an imminent danger that the states swing red. Absolutely a possibility, which is why we all have to vote. No doubt whatsoever. Wait, what's going on in Butler, Pennsylvania now? Hold on a second. Let's look at Trump's schedule today. Now I'm confused. So Trump delivers remarks at a rally about making America great again. That was in Upper Makefield Township. That was earlier, so that already happened. Newton, PA. Okay. Trump then, it's like reading these schedules, you need a TI-83 to do it. Then Trump is going to Reading, which is where we are right now. Then Trump is going to Butler. Oh, so wait, hold on a second. The Butler rally is already going, even though it's 2 hours from now. Oh, and this is not even live. Let me close that. That's just trash. So they've got a guy talking at the Butler rally. That's not even the next rally. Who the hell knows? I mean, it's really hard to know what is going on at this point. Okay, other super chats coming in. JRP says, good on you for getting my name right. Jeremy, keep up the great work. Love it. Patricio says, can I get a shout out to my best buds, Tito and Junior Tito, finally voting? Yes. First time ever after years of being eligible. Junior powerfully voting through the mail because of a positive COVID test. So proud of them. Absolutely. Everybody must vote. Love it. Joseph Dinsey says his propaganda videos in the middle of Trump's rallies are just like the 2-minute hate from 1984. Has his staff taken notes from Ingsoc? Yes, it's very dystopian. Dariten says Austin, most conservative state, swung left. Australia's most conservative state swung left today. All right. Mark says I'm going to have to open the phones. Well, we're at 27. Force me to open them, please. Josiah says, can you please say trans rights? Thanks, love your show. Just said it. That's become, I guess, a meme. I don't know. Me saying trans rights. Aaron says, my father's doing a contactless Halloween where kids will get candy slid through a small slide that pokes through a plastic flap. I've heard of a lot of people doing that. That is interesting. Tristan says pronounced Reading like the color red. Yeah, so in Massachusetts, we have a Reading that is spelled like reading and it's pronounced Reading. I just didn't know if in Pennsylvania it was reading or Reading, but now people told me it's Reading. So now I'm pronouncing it correctly. Ant and Sharon say vote Biden, Harris, get Trump out, truth over lies. Elias wants to know if I heard about ICE sterilizing women in Georgia. I heard about ICE sterilizing women. And I believe it's a doctor from Georgia, but I wasn't sure that it was taking place in Georgia. That is interesting. Something happening here. Who knows? Dariten says Trump knows sinew. They swell with bone spurs. Well said. Josephine says Biden looks cool. Lisa asks if Trump's just mailing it in at this point. It's almost sad to watch him, especially seeing Biden, who actually cares. Well said. Yeah, I think Trump is not mailing it in, but I think he's been demoralized. What's this about, by the way? Is Trump now on some smaller It's like a Matryoshka Russian dolls, subsequent smaller planes. Trump showing up in increasingly small planes. Is that what's going on? Hard to say. I'd really like to get off of this stream because it's just so vile. But let's see if we can find a new stream. 58 minutes ago, 2 hours. This is live from 2 hours ago, waiting for Fox News. Oh, okay. That's good. So we've got at least one other one. And let's see what else we can find. Other streams. Okay, I feel better now. So we've got the Fox News stream. We do have this Right Side Broadcasting stream. And then we've got the Sun stream. I'm feeling better now about the streams that we have for you guys. Good. Very, very good. Also, a big thank you to Zev Butler. Zev is new member number 28 at joinpacman.com. And we also have an additional 5. Remember, Twitch counts now. Twitch counts. Gets us to 33. A third of the way there to opening the phone lines. Beautiful. Okay, other super chats coming in. Let's see here. Mike says, will Obama be part of Biden's administration? I don't think so. It is not typical for former presidents to then take lower positions. Like I was getting messages from people saying, there should really be a Secretary of State, Barack Obama. It's just not traditional. It's just not traditional that that's the way it's done. Cody says pseudo-leftists and neo-libs have their boots on the throat of the progressive movement. Returning to normal is insane. Adapt and vote or fail. I can't tell if that's an accelerationist type argument, Cody, or what. But okay. Mark says, you have to have 100 new members to open the phones. I hope there are that many people that do that. Well, we've had 150 and 200 new members during streams many times. And then we've had, during the first debate, we had I believe it was 368. It was a magical night, a magical evening. 368, I think it was. Square Circle sending a super chat. Shannon says, can you please explain how Biden's proposed changes in 401k policy might work? So my recollection is, Shannon, and I'd have to look into it, the amount that there's going to be, if you are, okay, I want to really be as clear as possible. Above a certain income, only part of your 401k contribution would be tax deductible. Right now, your full 401k contribution is tax deductible. And there are limits on how much you can contribute. The Biden idea is you can still contribute as much as you currently can, no matter your income, but only part of it would be tax deductible. It would basically make a difference of, like, from what I saw, a couple $1,000 for very wealthy people. Very small impact, but very, very revenue positive for sure. Square Circle asks if Donald Trump is an alien. Okay. 28 days later says, hey, David, new to your channel. The only progressive issue I don't agree with is gun control. But other than that, I'm on board. Well, when you say you don't agree with gun control, it's a losing catalyst for a conversation. What exactly don't you agree with? You don't agree with universal background checks? You don't agree with limiting anything, like our shoulder-mounted RPGs? Should individuals be allowed to own nukes or Black Hawk helicopters? So to say I don't agree with gun control, you're going to have to be a little more specific with me. Tell me exactly which proposed policy you don't agree with. And that for people saying nukes aren't guns, a lot of the things that are available today were not what would have been considered arms back in whatever year the Second Amendment is from. Okay. All right. It looks like things are getting going here. There is Donald Trump landing extremely strongly. Okay. In the little plane today, in the 757, there we go. And we are standing by for Donald Trump. Okay. Other super chats coming in. Alex the Wizard says, I can't help get to the 100 members because I'm already a member. That is sad. The Dude says, I've started seeing more Biden signs up here in northeastern Pennsylvania, but we've also seen 40 plus cases per day since the rally in Erie. Time for this moron to go. Greg says, urgently sipping on coffee while we wait for the rally. Thank you for the company and the content. By the way, this is, well, I guess this isn't sponsored in the sense that they don't sponsor my live streams, but we got, or I don't even know if they've, can I say this? I know I've recorded the ads, but I don't know if they've started. Four Sigmatic mushroom coffee, which is like a blend of ground up mushroom and regular coffee, started advertising on my podcast, which is not this. Like, I'm mentioning it here just because I had some this morning. It's actually pretty good. I'm like really more of an espresso guy. But on the weekends, sometimes I'll pull out my Chemex and do a little bit of a science experiment. It's actually good. I mean, who would think mushroom coffee would be good, but it's actually quite good. Okay. Let's see. Andrew says, any bets on how violently Trump will try to hold on to the White House after a Biden victory? Violent. I mean, I don't think it's going to get physically violent, but I do think Donald Trump is going to do whatever he can to remain in power. And we need to be ready for not knowing who wins on Tuesday. And we need to be ready for Donald Trump claiming victory no matter what. That's the thing to really be prepared for. Trump will claim that he won unless it is a complete and total blowout on a Tuesday, which it may not be because we're not going to have final numbers from a lot of different states. So just be prepared for Tuesday. I'm thinking that when I go off the air, it may get to 11 p.m. when California closes and whatnot. And by 11:05, that may be it for the night, where we're not going to get any more state calls until the next day. We may, but we may not. And we just have to be ready for that. Okay. What else do we have going on? I see a lot of people trying to get me to pick them up on Discord. Guys, we're not taking calls right now on Discord. You can find the Discord at davidpakman.com/Discord. But we will take calls if we get to 100 website members and Twitch subs. Okay. So remember, the number one way to support our work is to sign up at joinpacman.com. If you've been enjoying what we've been doing for the last weeks, months, years, however long you've been with us, grab a membership at joinpacman.com. You will see the blue bar fill up. I will thank you. I will say you're a great person, even if I don't know that for a fact. And we will get one member closer to opening the phone lines. And of course, the coupon code 2020 now is donezo on Tuesday. The 2020 election is over Tuesday, sort of, at least the voting. And the coupon code is done. So these are the last opportunities to get that coupon code going. Where is this rally? This is in Reading, Pennsylvania. Reading, Pennsylvania. All right. Gordon says, oh, wait, no, hold on. So sick of I missed a bunch here. I'm sorry. Okay. Michael says, so sick of the hypocrisy. They say freedom, America, only when it applies to their ideologies. If it doesn't, controlling choice is the play. Of course. They want freedom, assuming freedom is in line with their ideology. And if it's not, like gay marriage or women's right to choose or whatever, then all of a sudden, well, no, that's crazy. The federal government has to get involved in that. Matthew says, talk about the Trumpist attack on the Biden bus tour. Yeah, I did earlier. I had an article about that. Where is it? Here it is. It was absolutely insane. There was actually some side swiping that happened. These Trump MAGA clowns in pickup trucks surrounding the Biden bus. And there was actually a little bit of there was a side swipe incident, for lack of a better term. Ankit says, do you think Trump rallies are a cause for a third spike? No, I mean, the rallies are causing cases, but it's not the number. You know, we had 100,000 new cases yesterday. They're not causing that number of cases. 28 days later says, universal background checks for all purchases, including private transfers, is as far as I would go. Anything past that is a no-go for me. Okay, I'm on board with universal background checks, and I would go beyond that to some degree. Let me see here. Oh, so heads up to the moderators in both YouTube and Twitch. Let's closely monitor the anti-science stuff that's being said in chat. And if people are obviously being sarcastic about anti-science stuff regarding masks or whatever, we can allow it. But if there's actual anti-Trump, anti-mask, anti-science stuff and spreading disinformation, we're going to have to drop the ban hammer, guys, because we can't have that. I can't have that in good conscience on my live streams. I know sometimes it's tough. Like someone just said masks kill, but there's a little has chud icon and they're also a subscriber. So I'm guessing that's an obvious joke. Okay, very good. Let's continue. The Luck Hunter says, wouldn't it be smart for Biden to declare himself a single-term president? Saludos desde Mendoza. Wow, Mendoza. I've been to Mendoza, Argentina. Went to some fantastic wineries, had some wine lunches, and all sorts of stuff. Okay, that was satirical. Good, very good. Okay, I don't know. I think let's talk about that after the election is how I would address that question. If Trump loses, will he too be too ill to go to jail? Good question. I like how you're wrapping up like 3 different things into that. Good question. Kevin Sebegi says, if you're not vegan, why not? And if not, why are you okay with animals being exploited, tortured, and killed? We're not doing it right now. The reason I'm not vegan is well outlined in Michael Pollan's book, Omnivore's Dilemma. Okay. Thank you very, very much. And by the way, we're not going to get into it, but let's not even get into it. Okay. Elias says, can you go back and read my comment at the top? I did. Elias, did I hear about ICE sterilizing women in Georgia? I did. I addressed that comment already. I don't see any other comment. Linda says, so disgusting. Trump's rally content is always filled with lies, name-calling, and hatred. More disgusting is his base believing this is administration policy. Yeah. Tyler says, what is the important state Biden needs to win? I mean, Pennsylvania looks like it could come down. It could come down to Pennsylvania. So we're looking a lot at Pennsylvania. Jerry says, greetings from Canada. Thanks for the great coverage. It should be an interesting week ahead. Indeed, it should. Serge says, could Trump be taken out of the White House in cuffs? No, it's not going to happen. Aaron says, based on early voting, it looks like North Carolina will be blue for 2020. Yeah, we've got to be really careful with that. Let me see if I can find the North Carolina numbers. Hold on. How can I get the specific North Carolina numbers? Oh, I guess I can't. Okay, I'd have to, I'm guessing the numbers are available, but on a different website, right? Do they have? Oh, no, here we go. Detailed statistics, North Carolina. Here we go. Okay. Total voted. We want in-person votes. Okay, so in-person in North Carolina is tied right now between Democrats and Republicans and 30% independents. Okay. Mail-in ballots, returned ballots, Democrats winning 45-20. Yeah, so listen, this is important, but remember that the in-person election day vote is expected to be very heavily pro-Trump. North Carolina, but 91% of the 2016 vote is already in. Shit, I think we should be cautious, but that is looking pretty damn good for North Carolina. I'm not going to lie. That actually is looking pretty solid, but we've all got to vote. Anything could happen. All right, let me do some other thank yous as they are coming in. Let's see here. Ben Smith is new member number 34. Donnell Bergeson is new member number 35. Matt Belmore is number 36. Rebecca Butler is new member number 37. Dana Taylor, 38. Laurel Rosenberg, 39, and Susan Stewart is number 40. Then let's also add in our Twitch subscribers, of which there are 5 more, which puts us at 45. Nicely done. Nicely done. As we await Donald Trump in Reading, Pennsylvania. Let's see what else we've got. Alan says, watching very powerfully from Scotland. On it. Mark says he won't go vegan because he can't get over his ego. Just you. I don't even understand that. Dylan says, no te imaginas cuánto ha sufrido la economía, el economía. Okay, so this seems to be some kind of strange translation. I'll just do it in English because it seems like a Google Translate. I can't imagine how much the economy has suffered in Tijuana, Mexico, thanks to the xenophobic policies of Donald Trump. Greetings from Tijuana. Nice. Nice. Omar says, wish there was a way to measure the impact of Borat 2 on voter attitudes, if there was any, because the timing of its release was honestly brilliant. The timing was brilliant, yeah. Friction asks via Twitch sub whether I agree the Democrats didn't do enough to stop Amy Coney Barrett. I think they didn't do enough, but I think there wasn't that much more they could have done. I think the problem is there was a lot of posturing as if they were going to do a ton. There really wasn't that much they could do. And then they didn't do anything. So it's sort of like a combination of all of the above situations, quite frankly. Let's take a listen and see what the ambiance is like at this event. Unbelievable. Beyond parody. You really can't satirize it. It's impossible. Completely impossible to satirize. Okay. Somebody says I missed them in the member thank yous. Oh, Seb Gibbs. Seb is, I wonder if that's Sebastian, is number 46. And then Samir Mejia is number 47. And I do think I am completely caught up. Am I? Yes. I'm completely caught up at this point. Good. All right. Tlar says, voted in person with my parents very powerfully in Michigan for the big man Biden. Unfortunately, early voting is not looking good for Democrats. Worried. I'm very worried about Michigan, yeah, because when I looked at the data, in terms of polling, Michigan is closer than I would like to see. Particularly the spike is what I'm worried about, because this is what we saw in 2016, which was Hillary was ahead, but Trump had momentum in the last 10 days. We're seeing the momentum. And in addition to that, if you look at Michigan data, you see that, wait a second, returned and accepted. Oh, do we not have partisan info here? Requested. Oh, damn, we don't have the Michigan partisan info. Okay, well, in any case, I agree that there's a real question mark around Michigan. I am completely in agreement with you on that. The dude says, what do you think the impact of the Lincoln Project and other ads has had to sway Republicans to vote for Biden? Biden is close to a Republican himself. Biden's not close to a Republican himself. No, that's not true. But Biden is certainly not as left as Bernie Sanders. That we can agree on. I don't really know the effect of the Lincoln Project. I don't know that we'll ever be able to measure it. Mark says, just like you, David, it was a joke. The people who all angry at you for not being vegan just can't get past their egos. Oh, I see what you're saying, Mark. I understand. Yeet Man says, imagine Trump says the Biden ambush was heroic. Yeah. Waller is me. You just hit 1.07 million subscribers. Is that true? It is true. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. So my goal is 1.1 million by election day, but we need 10,000 subscribers a day between now and then. I don't see any way that is going to happen. I just don't see it, but it would be wild. It would be wild. Serge says, the other day you said presidents don't go to prison. That means Trump really did get away with obstruction of justice. RM even said he's guilty. It's just not, in the United States, there is no tradition of prosecuting presidents. My prediction is it's not going to change with Trump. That's just my prediction. I could be wrong. EP says, just saw news of the Trump caravan running Biden bus and volunteers out of Texas. Be careful out there, everyone. We have to be careful. I'm very worried about real world violence on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Very, very worried. Very worried. Hey, I want to say thanks to Philip Harding Young, who is new member number 48 today. Brian Duncan II is new member number 49. Catherine Pedorque is new member number 50. And Sherry Starkey is new member number 51. We also have one additional member coming in via Twitch sub. That gets us to 52. Twitch subs count, my friends. You guys are not chopped liver. You understand. And in fact, a lot of interesting things happening on Twitch in the next few months. Okay, very good. I'm wondering if I'm the butt of some kind of inside joke that I'm not understanding. Michael says, I had this hope that the TikTok community pulls one more epic troll. Register as a Republican, then vote for Biden would be amazing. That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad. And in fact, I don't know how many of you know, we are on TikTok now. We post audio-visual elements to TikTok. Landon says, thoughts on the recent Greenwald resignation. You know, I really find myself not caring about it. I think that Glenn Greenwald has been having some pretty significant personal issues over the last year to year and a half. And I think that actually is as much a factor in how we've in the public presence of Glenn Greenwald over the last six to 12 months. Than any sort of like political realignment or anything like that. Anyway, yeah, that's my thought. I don't really have too much else to say about it. Like, now he'll do Substack and make money with it. Good for him. Tlar says, what are the odds Trump wins only the Electoral College again? Well, I don't think there's any chance. If you say, I would probably take 20 to 1 odds on Biden winning the popular vote. But the only thing Trump has a shot at, I believe, is winning the Electoral College. I don't think he's getting the popular vote. Arizbot says, ravioli, give me the formuoli. Oh, my God. Gabby says, I became a member, did not hear my name. Okay, so we're talking about website members, and I've listed everybody other than Michael Guy Lee, who is new member number 53 today. Michael Guy Lee is number 53. Here is the Mango Menace himself in Reading, Pennsylvania. Let's listen to the crowd. And that song is just ubiquitous. Jillian Duncan is new member number 54, which I appreciate. And then we do have two more people coming in via Twitch, which puts us at 56. I love it. 56 is a great number. And we are going to hear from Donald Trump at another Corona rally very soon. I don't know how long he is expected to go. You can usually go by the temperature. Current temperature, Reading, PA, 45. Okay. With low chance of precipitation. So I think it's very likely Trump will go a long time, because the weather is not particularly offensive to him. Here is Donald Trump grabbing some Magar hats, and he's going to toss them to the crowd now. And can you imagine that this is the world we live in right now? I mean, seriously, this is the world we live in now. Look at this guy. We must depose him. And there's maskless Mark Meadows always in tow. Oh my God. This is just bad. Oh my God. It's beyond, you can't satirize this. It's cultist insanity. Trump now pointing at some people. All right, well, let's listen, I guess, and see what is going to be on his mind today. See how triggered he is by Obama's speech. God bless the youth. Oh, is there double audio happening right now? Hold on. No, there isn't. Okay, let's close this out.
There's a big crowd. There's a very big crowd.
The video quality is atrocious. I apologize, guys.
Look at all those cameras over there. Can you show the
cameras?
Can you show this crowd? They never talk about our crowd. And in reverse, they never talk about Sleepy Joe's crowd either. It's about 12 people just showed up. 12. Look at this crowd. Maybe you could take those cameras and just show over there and over there.
More obsession with the size of his
Hello, Pennsylvania. Hello,
crowd.
Pennsylvania. We love Pennsylvania. Great education. And also, hello, Reading. We know it well. We know it well. 3 days from now, we are going to win the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and we are going to win 4 more great years in the White House.
Look at Mark Meadows with no mask in the background. There he is.
They're getting a little nervous back there, the fake news, because Florida's looking very strong. Florida, and this is not suppression polls. These are like, voters.
Real polls that say Trump's great.
Florida's looking very good. North Carolina is looking very good. Ohio is looking beyond good. Ohio. You ever hear you can't win unless you win the great state of Ohio? Did you ever hear that?
For Republicans, that's true.
Ohio is looking real good. They're all looking good. You know what's looking good? Pennsylvania's looking good.
Pennsylvania.
Real good. That great red wave is going to be very beautiful to watch. We're looking good. And if we win Pennsylvania, it's over. It's over.
Not true. If he loses, I think it's over. If he wins, not so much.
You have the Democrats and they play dirty. You have the rhinos. The rhinos are not good people. You got them all, but we're here, and you have your Second Amendment, you have your tax cuts, you have your regulation.
Thanks to Trump, you have your Second Amendment.
You have your fracking.
Imagine cheering for fracking.
He goes for a year. There will be no fracking. There will be no, I tell you, there will be no fracking. It comes to Pennsylvania. Listen, we have 1 million jobs for fracking. We like $2 gasoline, you know, it's nice, isn't it? We got a lot of things in front. Well, in that case, let me just change mine. And he never even gets asked about it by the fake news. Can you believe it? With your support, we will continue to bring back your jobs, cut your taxes, cut your regulations, and ensure more products are proudly stamped with that beautiful term, made in the USA.
I actually think at this point, it is word for word the same speech every day with the town names changed to line up with the state he's in. I think it's literally the same speech now.
A man got on television yesterday, said this is probably the greatest economic day in the history of our country. And the papers barely even put it in. It's called suppression. Suppression. Joe Biden will shut down your economy. Well, you're already shut down in Pennsylvania. Hey, Governor, you got to open up. You got to open up the state, Governor. Got to open it up.
He tells every governor that in every state.
And don't cheat on the ballots, Governor. Don't cheat. Don't cheat.
Every Democratic governor, sorry.
We're going to win. The only way we can lose this state, and the numbers are in. You see what's going on, right? Somebody's going to play games, and they just got an extension. What's the extension all about? Wouldn't you like to hear November 3rd, we win, we lose, we win, we lose, whatever.
Whatever.
November 3rd, now you have more time. What's going on? That was a very disappointing opinion, but I've had many disappointing opinions from the Supreme
judges.
Court. I will tell you, many, many disappointing opinions from the Supreme Court. They talk about we control the Supreme Court. We don't control the Supreme Court. That was a terrible decision. Joe Biden will shut down your economy.
Here we go.
Wipe out your factories and shut down your state.
End
Ship
electricity.
Your jobs to China. Raise
End
your
heat.
taxes. $4 trillion, the biggest tax increase. The biggest tax increase in the history of our country. And I gave you the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. He'll eliminate your private health care. 180 million people have the best health care. They work so hard.
The best
and they
health
negotiate
care?
with many great companies and have the best health care. They want to knock it out. They want you to live on socialized medicine. I don't think you'll be too happy.
Biden will end sunlight.
Darling, I have a cold. Oh, go to the hospital room. You'll wait online for about 4 days. That'll be nice, right? And send your state into a deep and catastrophic depression. And
Wait, will the hospitals be busy because no one has health care or everyone has health care? I don't even understand the criticism.
You know, it's an election. Things can happen. We're doing great, much better than anyone understands. They're starting to get very depressed. You talk about a depression. They're having a hard time. They're having a hard time with it. But you know what? There's a headwind. You know what the headwind is? That there's a possibility if Biden wins, you're going to have a stock market collapse, the likes of which you've never had.
Stocks do far better under Democrats. You guys know that, I'm sure by now.
That's our headwind. If we win on Tuesday, or thank you very much, Supreme Court, shortly thereafter, if we win, let me tell you, if we win, you're going to see a stock market that's going to go like a rocket ship.
Yeah, it's looked great the last 5 days, hasn't it?
401ks, your 401ks. Thank you. Thank you. Boy, this is a very enthusiastic group, isn't it?
What a cult.
This doesn't seem like someone who's going to come in second. Do you agree?
Oh, man.
Did you see Biden and Obama before? They make you think, honk, 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 honk. And actually, most of them are our supporters trying to cause a little havoc, but that's all right. We don't want that.
Dear God.
Biden has vowed to abolish the entire U.S. oil industry. No more fracking, no mining, no heating, no clean coal.
No cooling.
And gas prices going up at $5, $6, and $7 a gallon. So when you pull in with your car, You say, you know, darling, I think we're going to sell this beautiful SUV.
You say to your husband, sir, I want an electric vehicle, please.
The gas is too expensive. What has this guy Biden done? And the bad part is that Biden doesn't have a clue.
Glue?
He's gonzo. We all know it. They just don't want to say it. Biden's plan, I don't think he likes me too much, is an economic death sentence for this great Commonwealth. It's a death sentence. He'll eradicate your economy. Kamala Harris. You ever hear of Kamala? You have to pronounce it Kamala. She makes Bernie Sanders look like a strict conservative. Do you know that? No, Bernie's a conservative member compared to her. I mean, how that choice was made. And did our great vice president win that debate easily? That was a win.
Not the debate I saw.
That was a big win. Mike is doing a great job. The most liberal senator even sponsored the Green New Deal. $100 trillion.
Ooh, terrible.
Started off at $100 trillion, then 106. Now they have it down to $6 trillion. No, it's not $6 trillion. And by the way, if it was, you couldn't afford it. But you can't afford 100. A vote for Biden and Harris is a vote to ban, and you know this, ban fracking, ban mining, close up your individual plants. They got plants all over the place. I grew up here. They have plants all over. When I say grew up, let me be exactly like during college. Because they'll say, he misrepresented, he said he grew up. But Biden represents, right? This is my home. This is not his home. They left. They abandoned you. It wasn't his fault. He was 9 years old or something, right? Not his fault. But it's not like, he's a big Pennsylvania guy. No, he's a Delaware guy, and Delaware's a good place. In fact, it's really good. He likes it so much he never leaves. He never leaves.
Okay.
He made the mistake. He came to Pennsylvania 3 days ago because I was here. I was doing 3 of them, right? 3 in Pennsylvania. Hey, I'm devoting a lot of my percentage of time to Pennsylvania.
In all seriousness, he's from New York. Why does he say Pennsylvania? Why doesn't he say Pennsylvania? I don't understand. Is that an accent? Is it a dialect? He's from Queens. I don't know.
Pennsylvania, it's over. Let's do it. I felt very badly. I felt guilty because if you remember 4 years ago, we were at 98% of the vote. If I lost every single vote, there were X number of votes left. If I lost every single vote, take them all, I still win. They refused to call it. They refused. They wouldn't call it. I said, wait a minute. They have to call it because I was at 98, not 99. I was at 98. It stood there like for an hour and a half.
What?
And I kept saying, that'd be nice. Pennsylvania, that'd be nice. They refused. And then they said, Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin. And then they said, Donald Trump has won the state of Michigan. And we won. And then, much later, they just refused to give you the credit. So let's turn it around on them, okay? They didn't treat you
When you step back and then you're like, how is Trump president of the United States? It gets weird when you actually remind yourself how insane it is.
I said, I'll concede every vote. I'll concede every one, and we win. They wouldn't do that, right? But we won it, and we won it pretty easily. I think we won it pretty easily. And what I've done from the time we won...
The concept of conceding votes, even votes that were for him, he'll give to the other person. You can't do that. People voted. It's so stupid to even bring up.
For Pennsylvania has been incredible. You had the best year you've ever had last year, and you're heading to the best year you've ever had, period. And it's going to be this coming year.
Has his speech started? Does anybody know?
But Biden would completely destroy Pennsylvania. A vote for me is a vote to remain energy independent. Do you believe it? We can say that. Right? Did you ever think you were going to hear those beautiful words? We're energy independent. Our economy is now growing at the fastest rate ever recorded. That was what was announced yesterday.
Yeah, if you don't understand basic math, you would think that.
A very, very brilliant gentleman called me up. Not a nice man at all. In fact, he's ruthless and vicious. I love that guy with the beard back there. He goes to a number of... Thank you. He's so distinguished. He's so distinguished. I see him at so many rallies. I appreciate it. I think he's great. He's going 4 more years. Now he's great. But you know what? He got up and he said, very smart, very successful guy. He said, this could be the biggest announcement in 50 years. 33.1% GDP. That's growth. he said,
We're down 8%.
you know, the last time it broke the record. It's the #1 in history, the history of our country, and probably the history of any country, if you want to know the truth. But
it's not even true. I mean, none of this is true. This is
which
crazy.
Is far greater than people were anticipating. Anybody. So what happens is that this is the biggest announcement, but you watch. They won't give you any credit. They'll try not to mention it's true. The press is playing it down so much. Just like for different reasons, they refuse to talk. They refuse to talk about where's Hunter. They refuse to talk about the corruption in Biden's family. We've learned more about the fake news, but you know, this is no longer fake news. This is now corrupt news. This is now corrupt news. We've learned a lot. But we had the greatest number we've ever had. I thought I heard that from over there. See, I don't participate in this because look at all the cameras back there. Look at them all. You know what they're going to do? He's trying to incite them. No, I don't have to incite them. They're like intelligent people. They know.
Right.
They know that when you get thrown out of the military and you have no job for a long time, and then your father becomes vice president, and then you get $183,000, right? $183,000 to sit on a board, probably never went to a board meeting, and supposedly $3 million up front, and then the mayor of Moscow's wife gives you a check for $3.5 million, and then you go on Air Force Two and you go to a very nice place known as China. That should have never, ever done what they did. They should have never done. We just signed a great trade deal, and the ink wasn't dry, and the plague came in. They could have stopped it. But they go to China. Father and son goes to China, and he walks out with $1.5 billion to manage, which is millions of dollars a year. And then he goes to the big play.
There's like one particular woman who won't stop screaming.
He wants $10 million a year. This is a guy who didn't have a job a year before. Goes to China. We want $10 million a year for introductory. In other words, he'll introduce people to his father. And then you see his father, the big guy, they call him. He's not a big guy. He's not a big guy. Boom, boom. He's not a big guy. Go.
I don't know if you guys noticed what just happened. Two African-American gentlemen walked right behind Trump, and then one got up on the rafters and almost was going to take a position right over Trump's left shoulder, which is just by coincidence where you often will find black folks at Trump rallies in a very particular position. And then there seemed to be some kind of a discussion, and then the guy left. Very, very strange.
A slight slap. You don't have to close.
And there goes the other guy that walked by before. See that?
He's inciting violence. No. But when Biden, I thought it was a terrible thing. Remember that? He actually, I want to take him to the back of the barn. They didn't say anything. If I said that, they'd say, this is a terrible human being, right? It's all right. You know what? In the meantime, we have the White House, right? We have the White House. We have the presidency. We have fracking. We have energy. We have manufacturing that they totally gave up, remember?
The typical spot where they often either put folks who are minorities, or sometimes they just have a sign saying like Latinos for Trump, blacks for Trump. Who knows really, what the race are. They'll put them right here, which is very, very noticeable. But that's noticeably absent at this event. Maybe there was a miscommunication.
We are creating the world's greatest economic powerhouse. We are going to be more powerful than ever before. We had to stop. We had to close. We saved 2 million lives. Remember, they don't want to ever talk about that. The model was 2.2 million. That's what they said.
Yeah, if you do nothing.
We saved 2 million lives. We closed it up. How would you like to be me? I'm sitting there. We have the greatest economy in the history of this country, in the history of the world. We were doing so much better than China. I was throwing tariffs on them. They were paying us $1 billion. I gave $28 billion.
Remember, our businesses pay the tariffs
because they were targeted by China. Iowa, Nebraska, they'll remember. I gave them 28 billion with a B, farmers and ranchers, because they were targeted by China, because China thought they could use the farmers to get the deal that they want, because I said, I'm not going to let you rip off the United States. You've done it long enough. For years and years, and I'm not just talking about Obama, I'm talking about other presidents too. They allowed this to happen. They allowed this to happen. So we gave our farmers $28 billion. That's not bad. All from China. I said, please write a letter, say thank you very much.
Crowd's
President
tuning
Xi.
out.
A recent Gallup poll found that 56% of Americans say they are better off today than they were 4 years ago under... Think of that. And that's during, we're rounding the turn. They hate when I say it. You know, we're coming up with the vaccines. The therapeutics are incredible. Here I am. I mean, you know. I'm sure I would have been here without the therapeutic because, as you can see, I'm in perfect physical shape. And I'm extremely young. So I'm young and I'm a perfect physical specimen. No, so I'm sure I could have beat it without, but something happened when I took that sucker and I was gone.
Are you guys noticing there's one particular woman who's been screaming, yelling things the entire time? I guess she must be near a crowd mic or something. I don't know. It's weird.
And I was campaigning like very sure. Oh, the other side. Were they happy? Oh, were they happy? But you know what? When you're president of the United States, you can't lock yourself into a basement at the White House. Got to be president. I meet people, right? I can't lock myself into the basement, and they have a very good basement. I can't lock myself into a beautiful bedroom and stay there for a year and a half. The President of the United States is locked in the most magnificent bedroom on the 3rd floor of the White House because we have a pandemic, and he's afraid to go out. He's your president. No, you got to go out. And the doctor came up to me, great doctors. One thing, if you're president, you get good doctors. That's
cool.
The one thing I can tell. And you get plenty of them, too. They got more doctors. But they came up, sir, you're positive. You just tested positive. I said, doctor, tell me something. For what? Sir, you have the China plague. He didn't say that. He said COVID, sir. COVID. You know, it's got about 24 different names. Most of them should start with the word China because that's where it came from.
Sir, you've tested
corona,
positive
right?
for the
Coronavirus.
China
Well, I said,
plague.
what is this, a place in Italy? Sounds like an island in Italy. Corona. No, I don't. It's the China virus. That's what it is. But he said, sir, you just tested
Trump COVID-20.
for COVID. I said, yeah, that's not great. Wait a minute, I got about 4 campaign stops.
Reportedly, he panicked and was up all night as he developed a fever, wreaking havoc at the White House.
And then our great First Lady tested positive. That's, well, at least those rumors that we don't live together turned out to be false.
Oh, my God.
She lives in a house someplace in Virginia. No, she lives with me, and she tested. I said, that's the only good thing about her testing positive because...
Oh, my
But
God.
she's strong and knocked it out. But then they said, you know that. They said, sir, Barron. Now, Barron's my 14-year-old boy who's very tall and strong. He's very strong.
Is Barron even 14? Do we know
Barron, they said, sir, Barron tested positive. I said, that's not good. About 12 minutes later, I said, how's Barron doing? Sir, he shed it. No problem. He's fine. Get back to school, Governor. Tell them they have to get
Is
back
that
to
true?
school.
Did he get Barron's age wrong? Is that true?
Back to school. Those young kids, they have
Barron
that
is
strong,
14.
We feel strong. They have that very strong
Okay, he's
immune
14.
system. How is he? He's 100%.
Imagine if Barron was 18.
Barron, was it bad? I don't think I had anything wrong, Dad. That's one of those things, right? That's the way it is. They're young and they're strong and their immune system is good and they should go back to school immediately. Sleepy Joe Biden is a diehard globalist who spent the last 47 years outsourcing your jobs, opening your borders, and sacrificing American blood and treasure in endless foreign wars in countries that most of you have never even heard of.
Countries.
They're all coming back. The soldiers are all coming back. You know that. So no. 19 years. So no. 19 years. And they were policemen. They policed areas, but it's ridiculous what they were doing in this country. Ridiculous. Right. Biden is a Washington vulture who decimated your steel mills, annihilated your coal jobs, clean coal, and supported every disastrous sellout trade deal for over
Did he
half a
annihilate
century.
clean coal jobs? Is that
the
what he said?
reason why I'm president. The real thing that bothered me more than anything else, I thought the wars were crazy. I thought so much was bad, but I saw these trade deals we were making with countries, both ally and foe, and our allies in many ways treated us worse than the foe.
Triggered.
Okay? We were treated horribly on trade, and we were treated horribly on the military. We had to pay for their military. By the way, those days have ended very substantially, you know, very, very substantially. Biden was a cheerleader for NAFTA, one of the worst trade deals ever made, maybe the worst. And China's
not like we have time to dive into trade deals, but NAFTA, you know, first of all, NAFTA and USMCA structurally are not dramatically different. And of course, the thing about trade is, in the aggregate, trade makes countries richer. The larger the country, the less it has to gain from trade, but it also increases inequality. It's like, you know, the idea that the problem is NAFTA per se, you know, this is just nonsense politics. It's politics for people who don't know a damn thing about anything.
They're respected because they'll say, we'll pull the hell out of there. We'll pull out. And we won $7.5 billion. All of a sudden, we're winning cases. I wish our Supreme Court treated us as well, frankly. That was some decision that was made, right? Let's not listen to the decision, this most important election in the history of our country, November 3rd. Let's not wait November 3rd. Let's extend the date. Let's give people more time to put in ballots, right?
Remember, nobody has more time to put in a ballot. You have to fill out and send your ballot by November 3rd. But the idea is, if the Postal Service takes longer, you shouldn't be penalized as long as you've voted by Election Day.
Yesterday, we allow 5 points for cheating, he said, in Pennsylvania, right? Think of that. One of the best pollsters in the country, the one who got it right 4 years ago. He said, Trump's going to win Pennsylvania, but you have to allow 5 points for cheating. You know
right.
when the cheating...
You have to allow 5 points for Trump cheating, which is why we have to vote.
That they gave. No, that's very disappointing. That was a very political decision, I have to say. They have not treated me well. Pennsylvania lost half of its manufacturing jobs to these calamities of Sleepy Joe Biden. How do you like his new sunglasses? You like them? That's so you don't see the bad surgery on the eyes.
Oh, my God.
No, they're terrible. Those sunglasses, they got to get a little... If you're going to use that kind, what are they, aviation, right? He's got to go at least 1 or 2 sizes larger.
Aviators.
I don't like that. I don't. He's got the silver deal going, the whole deal. And he's very angry, right? You never notice? You know what? The word is a different word. It's agitated. You know why he's agitated, right? Yes.
This is how you know the Obama-Biden rallies are getting to
We've
Trump.
got to... And you just hope he can keep it going, but it's not going to go much longer. That's why Crazy Nancy was trying to get the 25th Amendment, so if he ever got in, we get him out. And then you have Kamala. That should never be your first woman president.
Kamala.
But
Still
based
can't
on
say
the
her name.
numbers, the way I look at them in Pennsylvania, I don't think we're going to have to worry about it too much, okay? And Florida, and Ohio, and lots of others. North Carolina's looking pretty good. Did you see that? And this is no longer the fake suppression polls. You know, we had a thing, Wisconsin is great, and we won it last time. And we had a poll come out. I'm up 1, then I'm down 1, then I'm up 1, then I'm even. You know, what this crazy stuff. But it's, you know, it's within this area. I think we're doing much better than that. You know, I think we're way ahead. You know, I mean, I don't know if I should be happy or sad. People say, I don't want to talk to you about it. Then they go vote for Trump, you know, and we end up winning by a lot. But that's what happened last time. They thought I was going to lose because everyone walking out, the exit polls, they'd walk out. Who are you voting for? None of your business. Everybody that said none of your business, they were Trump voters.
How convenient.
Remember at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, they said, Trump lost. Well, they forgot to say, you know, they had the largest numbers of, it's called something else, but I'm trying to be nice because there's so many young people here. It's not none of your business. It's a much better word. It's 2 words that they say. But all those votes were votes for me. So they don't count them. So they said, oh, it looks like it's going to be a rough time for Trump. And they were happy as hell. And then the votes came in. It was
a
brutal evening for a lot of anchors that were crying. I don't know how this could have happened. Yes, I'm an impartial anchor. I'm an impartial actor. How did this happen? The tears are pouring. At every
Who
turn,
was that?
Biden twisted his knife into the backs of Pennsylvania workers. While Biden was giving China your jobs, his family was raking in millions of dollars from China. Millions and millions of dollars. If Biden wins, China wins. If Biden wins, China will own the U.S. Just remember that. And with me, it went just the opposite. I will tell you one thing. I could name many countries that would like me to lose. You know, they said that in Germany, and I have a heritage with Germany. I mean, they should like me, but they like Obama much better than they
Trump's
should like
German.
Obama. There's no way they can like me. I said, pay up. They don't pay they're delinquent in NATO. They owe us billions and billions of dollars. Obama never said pay up. I said, you got to pay up, otherwise we have to take our troops out. And then I hear that they like him better. Well, they should. You know what? If they ever like me better, I'm not doing my job.
Wait, so is he glad they don't like him, or he's upset they don't like him? I can't tell.
We're going to have winning like you've never seen before. In 2016, Pennsylvania voted to fire this corrupt political establishment, and you elected an outsider as president who is finally putting America first. Is that okay, Pennsylvania? And you don't have to take my word for it, because on Biden's record of economic treachery, and I only do this for places I like a lot.
Oh, no. Is he doing the video?
They're going to get it started. I mean, is there any place we would rather
said
be?
I oppose fracking.
You said it on tape.
I didn't.
What the hell is going on?
Put it on your website.
I'll put it on.
Put it on the website.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels?
All right, guys. On that note, it's gonna do it for me. We've seen Kamala Harris, we've seen Barack Obama, we've seen Joe Biden, we've now seen Donald Trump and the MAGA cult. This will continue all day. I will check back in with everybody tomorrow, but I think you mostly have a sense of the direction today is going. Trump running 90 minutes behind to rant incoherently like a guy yelling at clouds. So we've got just 3 days left. Everybody, please vote. Please, please vote. Thank you so much for your support of the streams, and I will be back. It's going to be so soon. It'll be like the stream never even ended. But I'll talk to you all, y'all, as some would say, very, very soon.